Good morning. Good morning, everyone. This is Robert from RJL Network, welcoming you to another edition of Stratomatic Super Advanced Baseball. Baseball like it ought to be. The 1986 New York Mets. We're doing a special early morning edition here on Sunday. Try to get a game in here as we're going to go into Game 5 of this 1986 season. The Mets have their home opener today. They're hosting the St. Louis Cardinals. They actually were supposed to play a 3-game series against the Cardinals, but because of the bad weather, the Mets were only actually able to get only one game against the Cardinals at home. So this was the only game they played against the Cardinals in this 3-game set, and then they would play, and then the Mets would host will have the Philadelphia Phillies coming into town. So early, you on the West Coast. Well, I'm on the East Coast. This is 11 o'clock over here, MLC. Good to see you there. I thought I'd do a little bit of Stratomatic for the morning. I'm not gonna go ahead and state when games are gonna be done. I'm just gonna play a Stratomatic game if I feel like it, or try to get a game in or something with other stuff. So I don't usually announce these kind of things, Stratomatic or anything else I want to do. The only games I do announce, of course, really are whatever, MLC. The only games I actually do announce, of course, are the inside pitch games. For some reason, Facebook put me in a jail. They flagged my Cleveland Indians broadcasts. For 2016, I have no idea why, and I think it may be because of the C logo I was using, which was the logo they were using. So I don't know. I'll be out of Facebook jail in a day, which is ridiculous. The first time I ever had a problem with them, and they said it was deemed by their technology thing. Whatever. So I don't know. I think I don't know what the problem was, but a lot of my Indians broadcasts for 2016 were kind of put on the back burner. Facebook, I don't know. That's kind of weird. Anyway, good to see Thomas Bartlett and Cammy Poo. Yeah, they put me in Facebook jail for like 3 days because of my Cleveland Indians broadcasts for the 2016 season. I don't know why. I have no idea why. I don't know what it violates. I think it might violate the logo copyright, because you guys know I put the logos on every one of my broadcasts. I may not be able to do that anymore, but at least for, I don't know. I'll have to see what I'll do. Anyway, that's something else entirely. Anyway, let's play some baseball, shall we? It's the St. Louis Cardinals against the New York Mets. It will be Ricky Horton on the mound for the Cardinals, and Dwight Gooden gets his second start for the Mets. And he's 1-0. I'm only keeping Met stats. I'm not keeping the stats of everybody else. Although, Replay Baseball is going to release the 1986 season, and if I don't go too far, I might go ahead and use Replay to get the stats up there, because it's get the stats, for the players overall when I put in everything. So, but right now I'm not keeping stats at the moment. We'll see what happens. Anyway, let's play a little baseball, shall we? So Ricky Horton gets the start for so Dwight Gooden gets the start for the Mets, and he is 1-0 for the season so far. He got his win against the Pirates in the first game of the season. So let's go to the top of the first and see what happens. First, we got to find out the weather. We're using the super advanced weather effects chart for the Mets, and this was I believe this was a night game. I'll find out in a second here, because I can bring that up really quick. I think this was a night game. This was at 4. It was a day game, actually. Okay. So it is a day game. And let's see. So day game at New York. It is in April. So let's see what we get. That's a 10. And the weather is, let's see, day game in April. It is average. So singles, ballpark singles are 1-1, and ballpark home runs are 8 and 11, left and right. All right, good to see you, Doug. So let's play a little Stratomatic, shall we? Before we get to the rest, before we get to some football later today. So Dwight Gooden on the mound. The Cardinals will bat here on the top of the first, and it will be Vince Coleman leading off. A 232 average, but he did have 107 stolen bases. Vince Coleman, the Ricky Henderson wannabe. He just couldn't. He just couldn't really hit that well. He had some decent years of hitting, but kind of average. Good to see you, Larry Harris. So a little Stratomatic Super Advanced for the morning before we go into some football today. So let's play. So top of the first, Vince Coleman leading off for the Cards, and that is a 210. And let's see, Coleman is against a righty. 210 is going to be a ground ball to third. So ground out to third. There is one out, handled there by Ray Knight, who's at third base today. Next batter for the Cardinals, Willie McGee. He is in center field, 256 average, 7 homers and 48 RBIs. Yes, Chuck Rawlings. Go Blue! Congratulations to the Michigan. You guys should have problem with Iowa. But I got to ask anybody: did anybody watch the Alabama-Auburn game? Please tell me you guys did. I was so happy I watched that. I could not believe how Auburn blew that. I can't believe Alabama winning that game. That has to be the game of the year. That has to be the best game I've seen all year long. Gooden will pitch to McGee, and that is a 2-8, and that's a ground ball right back to Gooden, and he'll toss it over to first, 2 away. Did anybody watch that Alabama-Auburn game? Here's second baseman Tommy Herr, 252 average, 2 homers, and 61 RBIs in 86. Yes, great game. Tough finish for Auburn. The fans could not believe it. I saw the look on the fans' faces. They were crying. They couldn't believe they lost that game. Could not believe they lost. And then I go ahead and watch Florida State, Florida, and that game was pretty good too. 2-9, and that's going to be a walk. So Herr walks. Walk given up by Gooden. And that'll bring up the dangerous first baseman, Jack Clark, 237 average, 9 homers, and 23 RBIs. 1986 Cardinals had good pitching, but their hitting was kind of suspect. Let's see. Nothing on the Havoc, and he's gonna be held, but it's 2 outs. He's not gonna steal. So Gooden, let's see, 3-6. And that is a swing and a miss and a K for the Doctor. So Dr. K gets a strikeout, so nothing across except the walk. And we will go to the bottom of the first. Yeah, unbelievable in the final seconds. I cannot believe Alabama. That was a miracle play, and it keeps their playoff hopes alive. They got a shot. If they can beat Georgia and some of the other top teams can lose also, they can get in. Starting pitcher for the Cardinals in this game was Ricky Horton. 4 wins, 3 losses, a 2.24 ERA. He only had 100 innings pitched. I think he may have gotten hurt during that season, I believe. So leading off for the Mets, of course, is the center fielder, Nails, Lenny Dykstra. Sports Time Machine, Utah Mike joins us for a little strat. This is game 5 of this baseball like it ought to be replay. I'll see if I can get maybe 10 games of this thing in before we go back to inside pitch, which I can't wait. Let's see. 5-7 against the lefty is going to be a single to right field. So Lenny Dykstra gets a leadoff base hit. The Mets are 3-1 in this replay. They historically lost this game 6-2. Here comes Tuffle. He's at second. And then nobody out. And let's see if Dykstra gets the steal. And that is a 3, and he does. So Dykstra is going to go. So we now go to the steal chart. And that is a 1. Okay, wait a minute, that's a 1. So he may be picked off. Roll D20 again to see if runner's second steal rating. And that's a 13. Does he get back? I think that's a 14. I think he's out. If inside runner second steal rating, he dives back safely on a roll. No, he's out. Lenny Dykstra is picked off by Ricky Horton. He is picked off. Wow, he got the lead, but that was a 1, and he gets picked off. So that's 1 out. So Dykstra gets picked off by Ricky Horton. That was a 1 on the chance, so he may be picked off, and he is. So 1 down here as Dykstra is picked off at first base. So now here comes Tuffle, but now nobody on base now. Let's see here. 2-4, and that's going to be a ground ball to short. That'll be out number 2. And now the batter is Keith Hernandez, who should be in the Hall of Fame. So Hernandez gets here. Of course, he's first base. And that is a 2-5, and that's a double to left field. So no, well, that's a not. Yep, that's a double. That's a double. That's a double for Hernandez. That is a double to left. That will be a double for Keith, as he continues to hit well, pretty well. And here comes Carter. Michigan-Ohio State was a great. Yes, that was. Michigan-Ohio State was a great game, and I'm very happy for Michigan. I have nothing against Ohio State, nothing against the Buckeyes at all, but I'm rooting for Jim Harbaugh all the way. And I don't see Iowa beating Michigan in the Big Ten title game. Here's the kid, Carter. Hernandez is not going to go anywhere. Anything on Havoc? Nope. And Horton will pitch. Horton, a 1-6, and that is going to be a single to center field for Carter. That's going to be a single to center. Do I send Hernandez? 1-12, a single to center field. So now I got to see if I send Hernandez, and I think I do with 2 outs. So single to center field. So I got to use the super advanced cutoff rule. So single no stars, single center A, runner back, so run to 12, plus B, which is 2 outs, which it is, so it makes them 1-14, which makes them 1-14. And then let's see here. Single no star situation second, and plus D, runner held, subtract 1, it's not held. And it was hit to center field, so 1-12 plus 2, 1-14. He was not being held, of course. So you add 1, so 1-15. And I'm going to send him a 1-15. He would score. And I think the Cardinals would not even, I don't think the Cardinals would even try. And they would probably keep Gary Carter at first. So I'm going to let him, I think, what is McGee's arm? Willie McGee's arm is a 0. He has no arm in center field. So it's so it'd be a 1-15. It'd be a 1-15. That's why, because like I said, he had 1-15 was an arm. So a 1-15, he would score. And I think the Cardinals would let him go and prevent Carter from taking second. So I don't know. Do you think with 75% chance of him scoring? See, this is the thing. Inside pitch, I already know what's going to happen. Stratomatic, I got to figure it out. I don't know, sports. You think the Cardinals would let him score and keep Carter at first? Or do you think they'd try to get him at a plate? It's early in the game. It's only the bottom of the first inning. What do you think he would do? You think they'd let him score? Or do you think they'd try to get him out? It'd be a 1-15 for him to score, according to my calculations. So what do you think here? Anybody got anything? They let him score? Or I don't know. I think I would let him score and keep Carter at first. It's early in the ball game. The one thing about inside pitch is pretty much automatic. Here at Stratomatic, you actually got to think about it, which is okay. I'm going to say the Cardinals let Hernandez score, and they hold Carter at first. So the defense, whether it's to throw for lead runner or let him advance, if lead runner advances, trail runner holds. So it's 1-0 in favor of the Mets. They'll keep Carter at first base. So that is a single, an RBI single for the kid. And the batter will be the straw. So here comes Strawberry. So 1-0 Mets here on an RBI single by Carter. And nothing on Havoc, and Carter's not running anywhere. And the pitch, 4-3 against the lefty, is a fly ball right field X. So that ball is hit to Van Slyke, and he is a 113. He is a 113. Should make the play. 113 and 18 is good. And let's see, 13, and that is a 13-12. Let's see, so 13-12. Oh, he's going to make an error. Wow, Van Slyke is a 13 in right field, and a 13-12 falls under an E2. That's going to be an error. That's going to be an error. So let's see, it was an 18, so that was an F3 E2, and that is a 2-base error. Runners advance 2 bases. So he probably misjudged it. So Carter will not score. Strawberry on at first, so that is going to be an E9, which keeps the inning alive. First error on the Cardinals. I think I did that right. And now the batter is Foster. So still 2 outs. Nothing on the Havoc. And Horton will now pitch to Foster as Van Slyke makes an error out there in right field to keep the inning going. See if the Mets can take advantage of it. 6-8. And nope, that's going to be a 6-8. That's going to be a strikeout on Foster, and that will do it. Mets get 1 run on 3 hits and an error. 1-0 Mets after 1. Stratomatic got to figure out all these calculations, and yet people out there say inside pitch. The chances of calculating for inside pitch is a lot harder. Yeah, right. Inside pitch is so much easier to play. Top of the second, and leading off for the Cardinals is Andy Van Slyke. And Andy Van Slyke in 1986, a 270 average, 13 homers, and 61 RBIs. So Dr. K back on the mound. 6-7, and against the lefty is a ground ball to second base X. So that's hit to Tuffle. And Tuffle is a 4E21. He's a 4E21 here. Flimsy ass charts. What's the matter, Stratomatic? You couldn't print out cardboard charts for these super advanced stuff? Cheap bastards. Let's see, Van Slyke's away. So it's a hit to second base X. So Tuffle is a 4E21. That is a 10. And that is a G3. And that is a 10. And a 21 and a 10 is a good play. So Tuffle will make the play and throw out Van Slyke for the out. Runner at second. Terry Pendleton, 239 average, a homer, 59 RBIs. He is at third base for the game. Dr. K, 1-8. And against the righty is a ground ball right back to Gooden. Another comebacker back to him, 2 down. Next up for the Cardinals is Mike Heath. He is the catcher in this game. 205 average, 4 homers, 25 RBIs. So Heath got the call at catcher for this one. Let's see here. That is a 5-7 against the righty, and that is a fly ball to center field. Dykstra will get to that one. He'll make the play. And that's a 1-2-3 inning for the doctor. We'll go to the bottom of inning number 2. Leading off for the Mets is Ray Knight. He's the third, obviously. Yeah, some crazy college football, but that's what you get in rivalry games. Even Washington had their hands full with Washington State yesterday. I watched the end of that. That game was fun too. College football is the best. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what anybody says. College football is the best. Horton will pitch tonight, and that is a 4-8, and that is a ground ball to first. That'll be handled by Clark. Rafael Santana is at short. 3-12 against the lefty. That's a line out to the shortstop, Max, but there's only 2 outs. There's only one on base. So a line out to short, 2 away. That'll bring up the doctor. He's using pitcher's hitting card number 1. 4-6, and let's see. Doctor he swings right, and that's a pop out to second base, and that will do it. So 1, 2, 3 go the Mets. 1-0 Mets after 2. Yeah, a lot of good football, and now you have the conference championship games this week. Should be a lot of fun to watch. I love watching the championships. It only stinks that the 12-team playoff doesn't start until next year. The Wizard of Oz, Ozzie Smith, will lead off for the Cardinals, top of the third. 280 average, 54 RBIs, no homers. Ozzie Smith actually had one of his better years for the Cardinals in 1986. Let's see. Gooden, 6-6, and Smith is hitting from the left side, and that's a ground ball second base. Ground ball second base B, handled by Tuffle. Here comes the pitcher, Ricky Horton. He also uses batting card number 1. He is hitting from the left side. All McCullough from the central part of Michigan upset D3 Power Mountain Union in the playoffs yesterday. Wow, okay. How about that? 2-7. That's a strikeout. And that is strikeout number 2 for the doctor. The college football championships this week. The sad thing about that, it means college football is coming to an end. And now we'll have a whole bunch of bowl games that mean nothing until we reach the championship semifinals and finals. Here's Coleman. He's 0 for 1. And that is a 4-5. And against a lefty, against the switch left, that is going to be a K and a miss, and struck him out. Third strikeout for the doctor, and 1, 2, 3 go the Cards. Bottom of the third, and top of the order for the Mets here is Nails. Nails 1 for 1, but got picked off at first base. 1-10. And against the lefty, that's going to be a single. So Dykstra is going to get another base hit, his second hit of the game. The batter will be Tuffle. And even though Dykstra got caught stealing, he had 31 stolen bases. He got caught stealing, but he's going to try again. Let's first see if there's a pickoff chance or anything. Nope. So now does he get the steal? That's a 7, and no, he will stay put. So Dykstra does not get the lead, and Tuffle will swing. Dykstra is being held. 3-12, and against the lefty, that's going to be a fly ball to left field, and that'll be handled by Coleman. 1 down, and Dykstra stays where he is. Here's Hernandez, and he got a double his first time up. Yep, 5 and 6 teams against 8 and 3 bowl, and 5 to 6 teams against 8 to 3 bowl games. Yep, exactly, Doug. So Dykstra on at first, and I think you said you can only try to get the lead once per inning. Is that the real truth? You can only try to get the lead once per inning. I mean, is that really the truth on that? Let me just double check that. We can only try to get the lead once per time he's on base. Because that just doesn't make any sense. But okay. Let's see here. We'll just see. Players who often steal have an asterisk in front of their good lead range. Asterisk indicate that the defensive manager does not elect to hold the runner. The runner automatically achieves a good lead, which he does. So once per inning of the base runner status doesn't change. Okay. So Lenny Dykstra, he can only try to get the lead once in a whole inning. Or an inside pitch, I'm rolling a strategy roll. He would get another chance. Okay, fine. So Dykstra on at first. 5-4. There are some rules at the strat that I do like, though. 5-4, and against the lefty, that is catcher card. That's catcher's X. So I go to this flimsy thing. So catcher's X. And that is a 2-6. The catcher is Heath. He's a 3E15. So a 3, and that is a 4. And that says WG. And that is a 5, and here that is an 8. So 15. That's a 4. It's WG, and then he has 15, and that's 15-8. He will not make an error, so it's WG. So WG, with runners on base, the pitcher uncorks a wild pitch. All runners advance one base, and play resumes the same batter at the plate. So that's a wild pitch. So all runners advance one base, and play resumes the same batter at the plate. Okay, so it's a wild pitch by Horton. And that'll move Dykstra to second. So now he's held at second base. He's not going to try to steal. So we re-roll the bat. Anything on the Havoc? Nope. Horton, 1-8. And against a lefty, that's a walk. So Hernandez draws a base on balls. And now here comes the kid. He's got 2 home runs already this season. Runners at first and second. That's a 5. If I do anything wrong here, for you Stratomatic masters out there, please let me know. Trust me, I'll take the criticism. This is not my best game. You guys know, you guys know that inside pitch is my game. Like we held on first, one's first and third with no outs, but after say 1 out, you decide to bring the infield in. Then man on first can try to get another lead if he's no longer held on. Okay. Thank you, MLC. So runners at first and second, 1 out, bottom of the third, Mets threatening. 6-6. And against a righty, that is a 9. And let's see here, 6-6. That's going to be a 2-base double. So Carter's going to go ahead and bring in a run. So Dykstra will come in to score. Hernandez to third. Carter to second. That's 2-0 Mets. Stadium cheers. Yay! So Carter has a 2-base double, but if he's a star, he automatically has a good lead. Okay. Thank you, brother. So now runners at second, 2-0 Mets, and here comes the straw. Strawberry reached on an error his last time up. Runners at second and third. They're going to have the infield in, I think, here. So the infield will be in. Anything on the Havoc? Nope. Pitch. And that is a 2-9. And that struck him out. Typical Dwight, typical Darryl Strawberry at bat. Either strikes out or hits a home run. Here's Foster. Foster is 0 for 1. And that's a 20, but nothing happening on Havoc. So Mets trying to get some more here. Let's see if the $10 million bum can do it. 3-8. And against the lefty, that's a ground ball right back to Horton. He will take care of it. Toss it over to first. Inning over. So 1 run on 2 hits and a walk. The Mets now have a 2-0 lead in this ball game after 3. But don't get me wrong. I think Stratomatic is fun. I can't take anything. There is a fun factor to this game. I do see it. I do feel it. Stratomatic has a good fun factor. Not as much as inside pitch, but the fun factor for Stratomatic after playing a few games, there is a fun factor depending on the splits, the base running. I think it's got more of a fun factor than some of the other games out there. And of course, I'm not going to knock any of the other games. This is just my personal opinion. So may the ghost of Greg Sovon not haunt me at night for Fall Classic Baseball. I just think Stratomatic has more fun than that game does. Top of the fourth, 2-0 Mets. Dr. K back on the mound. Here is Willie, me, and Bobby McGee. And that is a 1-5. And against a righty, that's an 8, and that's a base hit. So Willie McGee actually gets the first hit of the ball game for the Cardinals. First single of the game for that, and that'll bring up her. McGee, a definite base rolling, stealing threat. He had 19 stolen bases, though. But he does get a chance to get the lead. So he'll see if he gets the lead. Nothing happening with Gooden. And that is a 7. He does get the steal. So let's see. 15 plus 1 is 16. Carter is a 0. And he was being held. So a 1-14, McGee will steal. And he does. Stolen base for me and Bobby McGee. That puts a runner on second. And now Herr will bat with McGee at second base. He will not go. And that's a 5. He'll stay put. So Gooden will now pitch to Tommy Herr. And that is a 4-4. And against the switch, 4-4 against the switch left. That's a fly ball to center field X. So fly ball to center field X. That's Nails out there. And he is a 2-5. So fly out center field X, 2-5. And that is a 5. And that will be an F2 if he doesn't make an error. Dykstra's a 5. And that is a 5-8. And he will not make an error. He's going to make the catch. So that is an F2. And an F2 fly out. There's a runner on 30. Scores. A runner on second may tag up and try to advance. Computer safe chances is running speed plus outfielder's arm. The max safe range is 1-19. McGee is a 1-17. Dykstra has a -1. So a 1-16, he would go to third. Why not? 1-16, he gets there, and he does. Deep enough for McGee to get to third base. And there is one out, but there is one out. I think I did that right. Here comes Mr. Clark. Infield will play in. Anything on Havoc? Nope. And Gooden will pitch. 2-11 against the righty. That is a ground ball to shortstop A. The infield is in. And that is going to be batters out, runners hold. So Clark grounds out to short. And that will be out number 2. It's good play by Santana. And he'll throw to first to get the out, 2 away. And now here's Van Slyke, and he's 0 for 1. 2-0 Mets, top of the fourth. They historically lost this game 6-2. Anything happening on the Havoc? Nope. Pitch, 5-6. And against the lefty, that's going to be a fly ball to left field. They'll get out of it. Getting over there is Foster. They'll make the catch. Tire the side. No runs ahead, a stolen base. Go to the bottom of the fourth. Ray Knight leads off for the Mets. He is 0 for 1. Horton stays on the mound. 5-2 against the righty. 5-2 against the righty. That is a 9, and that is a ballpark home run chance. That is a 9. Knight is a righty. And that is going to be, Knight is a righty. We go to the ballpark chance here. New York. The weather was average. Home run, and he's a righty. Home run 11. That is a 9. And that is a goner. That is a kaboom for Ray Knight. He will get the homer. I believe that's his first home run of the season. And it's now 3-0. Stadium cheers. Yay! There's Rafael Santana as Ray Knight goes ahead and sends one out of here in New York. Average weather, but good enough for him to get that. Santana's 0 for 1. 2-8. That's a pop out to short. That is a pop out to short. 1 down. Here comes the good doctor. 4-6. Dwight Gooden bats on the right side, and that is going to be a pop out to second base. Jesus sends that up the way. I know you guys can't see the cards very well because I got the camera kind of far back so I can get everything in here. I probably could have fixed this and maybe put the scoreboard somewhere else because I always have the scoreboard over here. Maybe next time maybe I can get it up there somewhere so you guys can see the cards better. Here's Dykstra. Dykstra is 2 for 2. He's got 2 singles tonight. 3-7, and that is a fly out to center field, and that will, against the lefty, fly out to center field, and that'll do it. 1 run on 1 hit, a solo bomb by Ray Knight, and the Mets now have a 3-0 lead here after 4. Top of the 5th. It'll be Terry Pendleton leading off. Mets are winning again. Unsub. Uncle Dave Gardner joins us. Good to have you here, Mr. Dave. Pleasure there, my good man. So here is Terry Pendleton. Pendleton is 0 for 1. 6-7. And he is switching from the left. 6-7 is a ground ball, second base X. And that ball is hit the tuffle. Stratomatic. Come on, cardboard. Got to use these paper crap. Let's see here. Ground ball, second base X. Tuffle is a 4-21. That is a 19. He'll make that 21-11. Let's see. 21-11. And that's good play. So nice play there by Tuffle. He'll make the play and throw Pendleton out. 1 out. Here's Heath. Heath is 0 for 1. Gooden. The doctor, 2-4. And that's a walk. So good. Heath will draw the base on balls. Second walk issued by Gooden. A lot of people wonder why Gooden went from the Cy Young ability that he did in 1985 to more of a still. He was a great pitcher in 1985. In 1986, he was considered very good. And although I don't know if the drugs or anything like that were taking effect, but one of the things that Mel Stottlemyre did, who was the pitching coach at that time, he started teaching Dwight Gooden the third pitch. He should have left him alone. Gooden had the fastball and he had the curve, and he should have just left it alone. Here's Ozzie Smith. He's 0 for 1. Heath he's going to be held, but he's not going to try to steal. Anything on Havoc? Nope. The good doctor, 6-7, and against the switch left. Against the switch left, that's going to be another ground ball, second base X. So again, it's hit the Tuffle. So again, Tuffle a 4-21. That is a 1. That's going to get by him. That's going to be an SI2, and a 5-5. And Tuffle is a 21. So 21-10. No error. So that's going to be a single 2. So batter hits a single with base runners advancing 2 bases. So Tuffle couldn't get to that one. And Smith is on at first and Heath is on at third. And for the first time, really, Dwight is in trouble. And then we'll bring up the pitcher, Ricky Horton. 5th inning. Ricky Horton's fatigue inning is the 6th. I would think if you're the Cardinals, you would pinch hit here. So that's going to be it for Ricky Horton. He will come out, and they will pinch hit, which makes perfect sense. So that'll be it for Horton. And coming on to pinch hit for the Cardinals is going to be... I don't think they would use the catcher in this case. So coming on to pinch hit for the Cardinals is going to be Jose Oquendo. We'll come on and pinch hit for the Cards here in the top of the 5th inning as Horton is leaving now. The Mets are going to, I think they're going to stay in double play depth. I think they'll stay in double play depth to try to avoid an infield. I don't think they go infield in. I think that you're up 3-0. I think the Mets would stay in double play. So many good baseball games to choose from. Absolutely, Dave. Absolutely. So many. Which is, it's not, the one thing I noticed, Dave, and you're a hockey expert. You're the hockey master of our hobby. You know, to me, it's not the game that's the best. To me, it's the game that's the most fun. And that's why I have Inside Pitch so much. But Stratomatic is fun. That's why I actually have no problem playing this game compared to some of the others I've done. So runners at the corners, 1 out. They're going to stay double play depth and try to turn the 2. Smith is not going to try to steal. That is a 7. He's going to stay put. But he is being held, though. So Gooden will pitch. And that is a 6-6. And against the switch left, that is a ground ball to shortstop X. So now that's hit to Santana. Santana is good as a 2E23. That is a 16. That's a G1. And that is an 11. And that's a 13. So he doesn't make an error. 23-11. And he will not make an error. So that's a G1. So if there's a runner on first, the batter, it's a ground ball to the fielder who starts a double play. And that is a double play, I believe. Yeah, that's a DP4. That's a DP4-3. As the infield was normal, and that will retire his side. He gets out of it. So that is a G6-4-3 double play, and the inning is over. No runs, a hit, and a walk. And the side is retired, and we will go to the bottom of the 5th. Good to see you, Philip Reynolds. Tim Tuffle leads off for the Mets. And they got right, left, right coming up. Let's see who the Cardinals want to bring on to pitch. And let's see. My normal use of the 3-batter rule I use for inside pitch, I'm not going to use that here in this replay here. Let's see. Down 3-0. Who do the Cardinals bring in? Worrell is a closer. He wouldn't be brought in for this. Coming on to pitch for the Cardinals is going to be Rick Ownby. He'll come on to pitch. Rick Ownby will come on to pitch. 1 win, 3 losses, no saves. He pitched 43 innings. So Rick Ownby is going to come on to pitch here for the Cardinals. He can pitch 3 innings. So bottom of the 5th inning, 3-0. Again, I hope I'm doing this right. Ownby against Tuffle. Tuffle is 0 for 2. 3-11, and against the righty, it's a ground ball to short. 1 down. One thing I do like about Stratomatic is the clutch ability. That I do like. Here's Hernandez. Hernandez, who should be in the Hall of Fame. 1 for 1, a double and a walk. 5'10". And against the lefty, that is a ballpark single check. That's a 17. That is going to be way too high, and that's going to be a line out. And that is a line out to second. 2 down. Ballpark singles are 1-1 today, the average weather here at Shea. Here's the kid. Carter's got 2 for 2. He's got a single and a double. 6-6. And that is going to be a line out to third. That is a single 1 to 5. Line out third base 6 to 20. That's a 15. That is a line out to third. And that is a 1-2-3 inning done by Rick Ownby. 3-0 Mets after 5. Top of the 6th. The one thing about Stratomatic, though, Stratomatic's ratings are usually on point. They are usually on point. I cannot mess with Stratomatic's ratings. Their ratings usually are on point. The computer system they use to get the ratings, pretty much right on the money. Top of the order for the Birds. Here's Vince Coleman. He is 0 for 2. Stratomatic probably has the best ratings in the business. Let's see here. That's a 2. That is a line. That's a leaner, but that's actually a 2. So that's going to be a 2-3, and that is going to be a ball that against the righty. That's a ballpark single, but that is a 3, and that is going to be a line out since it's 1-1 average. So that is going to. He is switched hitting from the left side, so that is a line out to second. 1 down. Here comes McGee. McGee is 1 for 2. 4-8 against the switch left. 4-8 is a fly out to right. That'll be handled by the straw. 2 outs. And now here's Tommy Herr. Herr is 0 for 1 with a walk. 3-0 Mets, top of the 6th. 2-4. And against the righty, that is going to be a foul out to third in foul territory. Getting over there will be Ray Knight. They'll make the catch. And that is a 1-2-3 inning for Dwight Gooden. So Gooden right now is cruising along. 3-0 Mets as we go to the bottom of the 6th. Rick Ownby will come on to pitch again. He'll stay out there. And it will be the straw leading off for the Mets. He is 0 for 2, but reached on an error. Hoping to get this game finished before we start some NFL action. Of course, the NFL games don't start until 1 anyway. So Rick Ownby will stay on the mound for the Birds. 3-5. And that is a 3-5 against the right. That is a ballpark home run chance. And Strawberry hitting from the left side. And that is a 1-8. That's a 7. And that is a kaboom. Darryl Strawberry, maybe with the second most beautiful swing in baseball history, right behind Griffey Jr., gets a hold of that one and sends that one to Mars. Home run, Strawberry. Stadium cheers and Section 518. Yay! 4-0 Mets. Strawberry sends that out of here. A 1-8 is good with average weather, and that's good enough. He'll get that out. And now the batter is Foster. Foster is 0 for 2. So nobody out. Bottom of 6. Mets now with a 4-0 lead. 2-10 against the righty. That is a ballpark single chance. The 13 is high. That'll be a line out to short and 1 out. And now here's Knight. Knight hit a home run his last time up. 112. Against the righty, that's a line out to third, 2 down. Lots of line drives, lots of line outs in the game. And here comes Santana. Santana 0 for 2. (5-7), and against the righty, that's a walk. So Ownby goes ahead and walks Santana to keep the inning alive. It will bring up Gooden, and he will bat. Got a 4-run lead here. Gooden's fatigue is an 8 inning. So Gooden very capable of going the distance. Nothing on Havoc. Nope. And Rafael Santana not going anywhere. 6-11. And Gooden is hitting from the right side, and that is a ground ball to short. And that throw is going to go to first to get Gooden. And that will retire the side. 1 run, 1 hit, a solo bomb by the straw. It's now 4-0 after 6. We'll go to the 7th. Stratomatic does flow very well, though. I will admit that. It does flow pretty well. Stratomatic does flow very well. I can see why the game has been in business. I can see why this game has been in business for over 60 years. Jack Clark leads off for the Birds, and he's 0 for 2. 4-0 Mets in a game they historically lost. The Mets are already +1 for the season. So if they win here, they will be +2. 6-9, and against the righty, that's a strikeout. Struck him out. And that is strikeout number 4 for the doctor. 1 out. I'm not keeping stats of all the other teams or anything like that. What I'm going to do is, in order for the Mets to make this postseason in this replay, which who knows how long will take, they have to at least win the division. So they got to get above the second-place team. I'm just going to use the regular records. They get above the second-place team, they'll get in there, and they'll wind up playing the Astros. So Gooden against Van Slyke. Van Slyke is 0 for 2. But who knows how long this replay will take. I can only do this replay in off seasons. 3-9, and against the righty, that's strikeout. Struck him out. That's strikeout number 5 for the doctor. And now here's Pendleton. Usually it takes you an hour to play advanced, so it does flow pretty good. It does. It does flow pretty good. It does flow very good. I have, no, like I said, no complaints of the flow of the game. No complaints to Stratomatic on the flow of the game. None at all. Pendleton is 0 for 2. 5-7 against a switch left, and that is a strikeout. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Gooden strikes out the side. Strikeouts 4, 5, and 6. And 1, 2, 3 go the Cardinals. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th. And 4-0 in favor of the Mets. Rick Ownby due to bat third in the next inning. They're going to let him pitch. This is his relief inning. And he'll go against... Will he let him pitch? No, actually, Ownby will come out. That'll be it for Rick Ownby. Cardinals are bringing a lefty for the next few batters. Let's see who they got. And coming on to pitch for the Birds is going to be Pat Perry. Don't know much about him, though. Pat Perry, 2 wins, 3 losses, a 3.80 ERA, 34 walks, 29 strikeouts in 86. So Pat Perry will come on for the Birds. And he'll pitch to the 2 lefties and a righty. So Pat Perry will pitch to Dykstra to start the bottom of the 7th. 1-7. And against the lefty, that's a ground ball right back to the pitcher. 1 down. Comebacker to Perry. Throws over to first. Here's Tuffle. Tuffle is 0 for 3. Still looking for his first hit. 3-4. And against the lefty, that's another ground ball back. That's another ground ball back to the pitcher. So Perry has made 2 putouts. Now the batter is Hernandez, who should be in the Hall of Fame. Hernandez is 1 for 2. He's got a double and a walk. 2-5, and that's a 17, and that is going to be a double against the lefty. So Hernandez goes ahead and keeps the inning going. He'll get his second double of the game. And now here's the kid. The kid is 2 for 3, a single and a double. And Hernandez not stealing. Nothing on the havoc. So Perry will go ahead and pitch to Carter. 2 outs here, 4-0 Mets. Bottom of the 7th inning. And a little morning Stratomatic before football. 4-10. And against a 4-10, against a righty, that's a ballpark single chance. That's a 2, and that is going to be wow, he's just going to miss it. Needed to be a 1, and instead that's going to be a line out to the shortstop and end the inning. So no runs and a hit as Carter lines out. Needed a 1 because the weather in New York is an average on weather effects. So we can't bring in the run. But it stays 4-0 after 7. Gooden coming on to pitch the 8th. Why not? Why not? He's got a 4-1 lead to work with, and he's only scattered 2 hits in this game. Mike Heath leading off for the Cardinals. And we may see a pinch hitter for him. And we will. Heath is going to come out of the game and coming on to take over at catcher and play. And there is going to be Mike LaValliere. He'll come in and take over. He'll pinch hit. So Mike LaValliere will come in to catch. 234 average, 3 homers, and 30 RBIs in 86. Cardinals had a pretty good pitching staff in 86, but they could not hit. But then again, the Mets owned everybody in 1986. I don't care what anybody says. The 1986 Mets, one of the top 10 baseball teams of all time. And maybe not the best team ever, but definitely the craziest team ever. So LaValliere will go up against Gooden. This is Gooden's 8th inning. This is his fatigue, his point of weakness. This is his power inning. 4-10, and against the lefty, that's a strikeout. He got him, struck him out. That's strikeout number 7 for the doctor. Fourth consecutive strikeout. Here comes Smith. Smith is 1 for 2 with a single. 2-7, and that's gonna against a switch left. And that's a ground ball back to the pitcher. That'll be handled by Gooden. He's got that. He'll throw to first for the out. 2 down. A lot of comebackers in this game today. We'll see a pinch hitter for Pat Perry as he comes out. And coming on to pinch hit for the Cardinals is going to be Clint Hurdle. Clint Hurdle will pinch hit. 195 average, 3 homers, 15 RBIs. Against a right-handed pitcher, so Clint Hurdle will come on to pitch, come up to bat against Gooden. 2 outs, top of the 8th. That is a 4-10, and against the lefty, that's a swing and a miss, and struck him out. Strikeout number 8 for Gooden. He has no point of weakness at all. He may pitch the 9th and go the distance. We will go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Strawberry, Foster, and Knight coming on to hit. Cardinals need a pitcher. And let's see who they got here. Coming on to pitch for the Cardinals is going to be Kurt Kepshire. Kurt Kepshire is going to go ahead and pitch No wins, a loss, a 4.50 ERA. He had 8 innings, only pitched 8 innings. But Kurt Kepshire, I don't want to bring in Worrell for this. So Kurt Kepshire is going to come on. And if you're wondering why that card looks a little different from the regular, this is a card made by My Basement Media Productions. Pretty much all these cards, I got the French players for 1986. I used the baseball card viewer from Stratomatic, took pics of all of them and sent them to him. And he was very nice to print these out on cardstock. So if you're wondering why the card looks a little different, that is Kurt Kepshire. And he is going to pitch. He was on the Cardinals for this game. I don't think they would use Worrell. So here's Kurt Kepshire. And he'll go up against a straw. Strawberry is 1 for 3, but he has a bomb. 111. And against the righty, that is an 18, and that is a line out second base. 1 down. And the batter is Foster. Foster 0 for 3. 2-4 against the righty. That's a 17, and that's going to be 2-4 against the righty. A 1-17 a homer, 18-20 to triple. That is a 17, and that is a kaboom for George Foster. The Mets are doing it with the long ball today. 5-0 Mets as Foster gets in the act. And he sends that out. I think that's the second home run of the season, I think. 5-0 Mets. Stadium in Section 518 cheer. Yay! Now the batter is Knight. I can see why Kurt Kepshire only pitched 8 innings in 1986. Cardinals went through a lot of players that year too. The pack of their roster pack is pretty thick. Here's Knight. He's 1 for 3. So now we have home runs by Strawberry, Knight, and Foster. So 3 home runs for the Mets in this ball game. One out here, bottom of the 8th. And that is not where'd that die go? Oh, right there, huh? And that's a 5-11. And against the righty, that's a fly ball left field X. So fly ball left field X. That's it to Coleman. Coleman is a 3-10. An 11. That's an F2. And that's a 5. That's going to be a rare play. That's going to probably be a rare play, but I think he's got it anyway, though. That would be a rare play. So 11, he is what? He is I think he makes the play anyway, right? Left field 3. So that is an F2 and an F2. The outfielder catches the fly ball for an out. All right, doesn't matter. 2 down. So 2 outs. The rare play won't matter. So here comes Santana. Santana 0 for 2 with a walk. 5-9 against the righty is a ground ball to shortstop X. So now that's hit to Ozzie Smith. And Smith is a 117. That's an 11. He'll make that play all day. That's a 4. An 11-4. He's got it. Nice play there by the Wizard of Oz. He will throw it over and retire the side. 1 run on 1 hit. A solo bomb by George Foster as the bum comes through. 5-0 Mets after 8. But will we see some 9th inning magic? Top of the 9th inning, 5-0 in favor of the Mets. Dr. K has no point of weakness at all as we now go into the 9th inning. So he needs to give up 4 hits, 4 hits and or walks to be fatigued. Orozco and McDowell are ready to go. We'll see a pinch hitter for Kirk Kepshire. Here is gone. And coming on to pitch for the Cardinals, come on to bat for the Cardinals, is going to be Tom Lawless. Tom Lawless, 282 average, no homers, 3 RBIs, only had 39 at-bats in 1986. So Tom Lawless will go up against Gooden here. Gooden trying to go the distance. Can the doctor make the house call? 5-12 against a righty. That is a ground ball third base X. And that ball is hit to Knight. Knight is a 3E21. That's an 18. That's a G1 and 21 and 21-10. He'll make the play. Knight's got it. He'll go ahead and throw it over. He will go ahead and make the play. Throws it over. 1 out. Ray Knight makes the play. Next up is Coleman. So Gooden will pitch to Coleman here. Coleman is 0 for 3. 3-8. And against the righty, that's a ground ball right back to the pitcher. Wow, Gooden getting a lot of comebackers today. 1, 2, 3. That's the 4th comebacker to Gooden. He's got it. He'll throw to first for out number 2. So obviously Dwight Gooden is in a zone. And the last chance is McGee. McGee is 1 for 3. Got a base hit. The doctor, 5-6, 4-6. 4-6 against the lefty, against the switch left. And that is going to do it. Fly ball center field. Hit right to Lenny Dykstra. Dykstra will take a couple of steps backward. Puts out his glove. Block. And the ball falls into it. That's your game. 1, 2, 3 inning for the doctor. No runs, 2 hits. He gives up Dwight Gooden pitches a 2-hit shutout on the Cardinals in a game where the Cardinals historically won at 6-2. The Mets will go to 4-1, now +2 on the season, because at this time they were 2-3 before they went on their winning streak. And that will do it. A 5-0 win for the Mets. Final line score coming up here, as this game is done. Midlife Crisis says it's rigged. 5, 3, 6, 8, 9. For the Mets, 5 runs, 9 hits, no errors. For the Cardinals, no runs, 2 hits, and 1 error. The winning pitcher, of course, is the doctor. He gets a complete game and goes the distance, and he goes to 2-0. Ricky Horton will take the loss in the ball game, and there is no save. Strat, so unrealistic. What are you talking about? It's the most realistic game of all time. Well, next inside pitch. So Dwight Gooden is definitely the player of the game, goes all the way. A 5-0 win for the Mets. The Mets' next opponent they only played 1 game of this 3-game series against the Cardinals. Their next game on April 14th, they would not play again until April 18th. They would not play again until the 18th of the month. And they will play against the Philadelphia Phillies. The Mets will play, that was a night game. And the starting pitcher for that, it'll be Steve Carlton versus Ron Darling for that game in Game 6 of that replay. So they don't play again until April 18th, so they got a lot of chance to rest. And that's how it does there, you know. So anyway, Midlife Crisis, Doug Hunt, Philip Reynolds, Uncle Dave Gardner, Chuck Rawlings, Sports Time Machine, Utah Mike, Cammy Poo, Thomas Bartlett. Thank you for joining me today. Please leave a like on your way out through the turnstile. Subscribe if you've not done so, and make sure you hit the darn bell. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay smart, stay strong. And I may do some Marvel Champions later tonight after some football. The New York Mets, and the doctor was definitely in. 2-hit shutout. Mets shut the Cardinals out 5-0 here in the home opener at Shea. See you guys next time. Happy recap.